So anyway, man, tonight this is my first time. First time I had somebody as a returning alum to the HTD media interview series, and I got my man Adwela of Adwela and the Uprising. If there's still an Uprising, I ain't talked to him in a while, so we're gonna find out about all of that as we get going here. Okay, so first question is, what is the status of the Uprising?
Well, I'll tell you this. I have a motto: as long as I still breathe, then we're still here, and I'm still here. And there's more than one person that can play music, and the pandemic has made some things change. Again, I feel like we're having the same conversation that we were having before.
Yeah,
People come and go. That's just a music game, I guess. You know what I mean?
That's being in a band,
I
man.
got done taking it personally, and I just moved on. You know what I'm saying? And
That's the only advice I've ever given you.
Can do, man. So it's like I've stayed the constant. I've stayed creating.
Mm-hmm.
Still had an opportunity, still able to play even through the pandemic. It got shut down for a minute, but I'm coming back doing mostly acoustic stuff now, just because that's what with the restrictions and stuff. That's what's feasible. Doing some full band stuff. I've got some guys to play with. Touring is going to be a thing going forward. I don't know how it's going to happen, but it's going to happen. I do have some touring dates. Actually, at the end of the month, I'll be in Salt Lake. I'll be in Phoenix, and I got a couple dates in Mexico of all places.
Oh,
actually.
nice.
So in the pandemic, I get to. They're all acoustic stuff, so I've got to scale down. It's easier logistically to make happen. But
are you flying? Are you flying this time?
I'm flying.
Okay, all right, man. Because I've heard enough of y'all tales from the tour bus stories, man. Yeah, look, man, I'm sure it's a life. There's memorable stories that come from being on a bus or in a van with somebody. But there's nothing like getting on an airplane and getting off 3 hours later
and be where you're at. Yeah,
and be rejuvenated, ready to get down.
Well, I'll always like being in that space, and that's cool. But logistically, it's just better. Like I said, I enjoy flying just as much. I don't know. It's that. They say you go to the pros, but like it's still nothing like Little League and high school football. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No,
that grassroots
we talked
stuff.
About all this
we'll
stuff
always have those
week,
fond memories of that. But thankful for the progression still. You know what I mean? And not being able to have to rough it so much.
I had some of your Culpepper brethren here talking about sports last week, and the reason that we talked about sports because there's a lot of similarities between sports and music, especially group music. You got to have some of the same kind of determination and drive and organizational skills and to be able to deal with a bunch of people and all those attitudes to be in sports or be in a band and keep it together.
The crazy part is you say that and the brothers you were speaking to from my hometown will definitely say that.
Mm-hmm.
The people I've come across with in music don't say that because they've never played sports.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They don't understand. It's all I used to get all the time, and it was so frustrating. Why do you liken everything to football? Everything's not like football. It's probably because you've never played no football. You wouldn't understand. You know what I mean? It's a different level of understanding. Those things correlate, and it's not about the sport and music thing. It's about the values.
Mm-hmm.
And the foundation is everything with everything. We're talking about interpersonal relationships, how you work professionally, everything. It's just, I don't know.
Me and my crew, we have everybody knows who we are and everybody sees how we move and all that, man. But it's a tight-knit family.
It's a brand too, man. It's a professional brand. But you guys are still personable too. That's the biggest thing.
Exactly, man. And but at the same time, because I'm the leader of the group, so I set the tone of what we're doing. And the difference is I can set the tone all day, but if I don't get buy-in from the people who are following me, meaning my crew, it ain't gonna matter.
Right.
I got guys that they all the way bought in.
Well, see, that's the biggest problem. I want to say challenge I've had since I've started doing this as an educator and as a coach. I can set a standard and a precedent. As a coach, I can blow a whistle and literally 100 people will follow what I need to do. I can't get 5 people on the same page for more than a year because of whatever reason. I don't know. It may be me, and at this point, I'm just embracing it. LeBron. We'll talk sports. LeBron went to Miami and finally started embracing the bad guy role and the villain role. I'm at that point right now. I'm Bron Miami right now, man. Like I'm embracing the villain. I just don't care, dog. It is what it is. Yeah. Here I am. I've arrived. Nothing has stopped me yet. I don't believe anything is gonna stop me, and I'm going right now. I'm rejuvenated, man. I've been going through so much, man, in my personal life too in the past year. It's been a wild year. I'm happy to be on the other side of it though, man.
No doubt about it, man. No doubt about it. Speaking of some loss, right? Do you know who Toots Hibbert was?
No Toots.
Okay, right. So, what do you feel about a guy like him, a legend like him, basically an old man when he passed, right? A lot of these folks are dying, and they're dying. They died alone. They couldn't even have their family around them when they passed, and so forth. How has the pandemic affected you and the ones that are close to you?
I don't think I've lost anyone directly associated to the pandemic. I've
Right.
had 2 deaths in the family
Okay.
within the past month and a half actually, and they were
Yeah.
back to back, like within 2 weeks of each other.
Man,
A
sorry to
week.
hear that, man.
Been through that. We lost Toots and those in the reggae community. Like I've been successful enough that I've played alongside these cats, or at least met them in passing.
Yeah.
I've got the good chance to meet Mr. Hibbert, you
Yeah.
know, and he was a good brother. He played in Floyd Fest, Bonnaroo, all that stuff. See, and him in his 80s, he was one of those guys who's not crossed over, but made the mainstream music, and it was digestible enough by the American audience that they were bringing him over here to festivals. He was doing his thing.
Yeah.
We just lost Bunny Wailer yesterday,
Yeah, I saw that,
and
man.
that kind of I ain't all right with that, man. That's
You
I've had the good fortune to meet him a couple of
Yeah, that's what I
times.
thought. Yeah. I think I've heard you either talk about it online or saw a picture or so. I don't know what it
I've
was.
been, that's
Man, that's terrible.
it's like the prophets are going away, and there's no one assertively stepping up to fill those voids. And I feel a way about the culture and the progression of our genre and our music going forward because of how the American market accepts it and what they don't accept, what's breaking into the mainstream as well, and how the roots and culture is like there's nobody really doing it strictly anymore.
Man, you must have read my notes. You must have really read my notes because I was thinking about this,
That's how
because
I feel, man.
I haven't really been in tune to a lot of current music because I haven't been playing,
Mhm.
and a lot of music is not stuff that I listen to, and anyway. So I'm kind of detached from a lot of it. So speaking of which, who among the reggae community is carrying the torch? It maybe nobody.
Me included, there's no front runner right now. There's some people who are very successful. I'll give you that right. Protege and the whole Indignation clique, they're very successful. With Lila Key, Coffee. Coffee just won a Reggae Grammy last year. They're putting on. He did a great record deal and distribution deal. He's on the main stage. That music is still conscious with content, and I like him. I love Diggy to death.
Mm-hmm.
I have nothing really negative to say. It's just not the pure roots and culture that it was. It's more hybrid crossover things, and that is necessary to reach certain audiences.
Mm-hmm.
He just lost another one last year. If you know Midnight, chance to meet him after the fact and seeing his catalog of music, this man has 79 albums.
Good gracious, man.
Like ridiculous content.
Yeah.
He's released one posthumously and has another 2 coming out at least.
Damn.
From the grave, he's speaking to people.
Ain't that something?
So when I spoke to him and I had the good fortune to open him for him in like 2015 when I was still a young band still. We had a conversation. That's my profile picture on Facebook right now, with me and Vaughn. So after I realized who I was talking to, how deep it is when you're looking at how he talks about things on a spiritual level, on a metaphysical level, on those type of like level of consciousness with the music, you really realize as far as our faith goes, that man is a real prophet.
Mm-hmm.
And when you talk to a prophet in the flesh and speak to him and how the music resonates as well and then he endorses what you're doing as well, it's always people calling now saying who's gonna step up, and I think I'm just gonna make this final big push and say, you know what, I'm gonna step up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna step up. I'm gonna do it.
That's what needs
No
to
one else is
happen,
gonna do it. And I'm in the genre. I can't look at things from a fan perspective anymore. I have to look at it from a responsibility perspective and from my peer perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And who's looking at me? I've only been doing this about 6 years.
Yeah.
As of last week, I haven't paid attention. I looked up, it came up in my memories. I'm like, yo, it's been 6 years. I've been going strong at this. I got booked for a festival, and the guy called me one of the older acts. I was like, what? I only met this. I was like, okay, thank you, respect. You know what I'm saying? So they're looking at me as an elder, but I'm not even 40 years old yet, bro. I'm like,
Right.
I'm still here. But I've been at this for a while. I'm a young veteran in this now. So
well, you on the calendar is not a long time, but you've been putting in work
consistently for
Yeah.
that long, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
when you
It
put
took the pandemic to stop this. I finally took a breath and looked up and said, bro, I hate this, but you needed this because it was taking a toll on you mentally and physically. Like, bro, you've been going hard for like half a decade with no break.
Yeah, man.
Just pushing.
I got a doctorate degree in almost 4 years,
Mm.
and I DJ'd almost every weekend.
Mm.
I don't even.
I can only imagine waking up Sunday morning and going back trying to write papers and
it was unbelievable, man.
Stuff,
it
man.
was
You're
a
beast for that.
painful operation, man.
Not me.
I was mentally spent.
Yeah.
I was mentally spent, and it was physically starting to mess with me. So if for people who don't, it's just like speaking to have another sports reference. You remember when they had the NBA playoffs last year and they went in the bubble?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, some of the old heads were trying to say that it was easy for the Lakers to push through and win. Well, if it was easy for the Lakers to push through and win, how were their whole team just quitting?
Right.
They didn't even want to participate in it.
Right.
They had players just quitting.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it takes a different type of person to persevere.
I had this conversation with somebody yesterday. It was a similar conversation. I was like, look, you have to understand as an athlete, you've heard the term from playing, someone says you're coming out flat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you can come out flat for a number of reasons. A long bus trip, something going on with your pregame routine.
Yep.
Small things. Athletes are creatures of habit and routine. So anything that messes with the habit or routine is going to be hard to manufacture your own juice. And for Bron as a leader, I think people say, Bron, this championship has an asterisk by it. No, this championship with Bron, to me, is the greatest. He made a whole team of guys who were not veteran champion players manufacture their own juice day in and day out.
Yeah.
You look at people talk about Dwight Howard, who was a castaway.
Mm-hmm.
Right? JaVale McGee does all kinds of slow stuff before he got back on. He does a whole highlight reel of JaVale McGee doing crazy slow stuff on the court. You got two bigs, and all you talked about the whole playoffs were their energy.
Yeah.
Night in and night out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not because of their own. They won't do it everywhere else.
No.
It's got to be attitudes of reflection of what? Leadership, right?
Leadership. Yeah. That's right.
I'm thinking it comes from the top. Like, Bron got these guys in a bubble with fake noise, no fans, manufacturing their own juice and playing at a championship level.
And
you've got to truly love the sport to bring that every night. That's hard, man.
Look how they were turning it on these teams, too,
right.
man. Those other teams were jumping on them, jumping all over them. And then all of a sudden, that extra gear would kick in.
Right.
And that's where the veteran leadership takes over.
I agree.
So
I agree.
But yeah. So anyway, man. So back to the music. Now I don't know. We never really talked about the distinctions between different types of Caribbean music, right? See, personally, I like dancehall reggae,
of course,
because it's like hip hop for me.
That's,
you know what I'm saying?
That's all it is. Jamaican hip hop. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So with Buju coming home, right? I mean, I don't even know how much you are into dancehall, but whatever, that's irrelevant. But my point is, what is his impact in current times?
Buju now is like, now you think about it, Buju is the elder statesman now.
Right.
Buju's not strictly a dancehall artist either.
He wasn't then.
That Till Shiloh album was a strictly roots reggae album, and it is very
It's on my phone right now.
Beautiful, right? He just streamed with Barris Hammond 3 days ago. Buju, Barris, Marcia Griffiths came out.
Oh, man.
You know who Marcia is, right?
Yeah.
People don't even know what song she sings, but they've been dancing to their whole life.
You know what? I ain't even going to say it. I'm going to play it.
Right.
In the
I ain't
break
gonna
on
say that,
this. I'm going to let them marinate on
that. Yeah,
but she's legendary, man.
Man, Fountain of Youth, she out there just like she's still young. Barris older too. All those cats, because music keep you vibrant and young.
Yeah.
But Buju, to me, I miss him when he was gone too. And when he came back, people say, "Oh, he did this." He didn't cross over. He did what he had to do to remain relevant. I think he linked with the right people, like DJ Khaled, to make some big tunes, to put in the mainstream, to bring people back and get hooked on him. Yeah. Same way we talk about like Barrington Levy.
Yeah.
That man had been touring the world for 30 years before that song with Shine came out. And America ain't found him until 2000.
People acting like it was new. But I'm like, man, I knew about him when I first started.
These guys been mashing up Europe for 30 years.
Destroying the joint.
So why would you not now seeing history and don't make it repeat itself? Okay, jump out there and make these mainstream hits, just a couple of them, to get people turned on to you, and now you go back to what he does. But Buju carrying it right now. So I think that if there's anybody who's carrying it, Buju.
So on a tangent here, the foundation of, I know a little bit about the history of music, right? But the foundation of hip hop was formed in the 70s and the 80s, right? And it came to a culminating point in the 90s. And then it started going somewhere else because the money got involved. So as far as reggae music, right? When do you, I mean, and since you are a historian as well, when did reggae music become? When was it at its apex? When was it at its highest point?
Right when I was born, man. Right after Bob died.
Yeah.
Bob died in 81. I was
Hmm.
born in 83. Um, I was born right in the golden years of the song, man. Like the late 70s to early 80s was when
Yeah.
reggae was at its height. I was seeing some really good concerts before I was 5 years old. I
Yeah.
didn't know where I was going to, thanks to my mom. You know what I'm saying? But I think those groups that made it digestible to the world, like Third World, we can't take those away.
Hmm.
Inner Circle, after I opened for them actually in Florida, so their 50th anniversary tour. So I've opened for Third World and Still Pulse Away.
Before you go any further, man. So when you meet all these people, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're an entertainer, man. So you try to keep it cool, I guess. But man, it's got to be. It's got
It's
to feel
hard
good
not
inside.
to fanboy,
Yeah,
dog. You know
man.
what it is? I'm like, you know what? It's meeting cats like Ziggy and then being around Steve and Marley last summer and stuff. I'm like, yo, I'm from Culpeper, Virginia, bro. Like, this is not supposed to be me,
Hmm.
and they're not supposed to respect me the way they do, and I'm not supposed to even be in these type of places. And then I'm getting cross-genre shows open for Boys to Men last summer.
Get out of here. Oh yeah, that was
In
down
Innsbruck.
here.
I'm
Down
like,
here.
you know what I mean? It's like, when you meet people like this, and I've opened for like 7 Grammy winners now,
Yeah.
it's not even anything that swells your head. It's something that makes you like, oh my God, I'm so grateful.
What I'm doing is work. If
What I'm
somebody's
doing,
listening,
it's just something that's bearing. It's a conduit and something that's making your progress tangible and measurable. If that makes sense.
yeah.
You
No,
know what I mean?
I get it, man. You know, I'm friends with a lot of artists, visual,
Right.
graphic artists, and so forth. And the similarities. I mean, I'm not a musician, but I'm a music lover. I'm a DJ, but I'm a lover of music. And the similarities between those artists and musicians and DJs and all of the people who really love the culture and really love trying to get into this thing, figure out what it's all about, man, and then turn around and broadcast out to somebody else to evoke some sort of emotion in people. Man, I'm telling you, that's the highest. I hate bringing him up, but Bobby Womack, he
Yeah, he's crazy.
yeah.
All the talented musician, but damn,
I'm not gonna go into that clown. But he had great music.
Right.
But he said when you get up on that stage, man, they come to listen to your sermon. And you're up there, you're testifying to the people, man.
It's a
if you're saying something that's worthwhile, you are.
It's a as far as me with spiritual music, yes, it is my mission and my message is more evangelical.
Right.
So we look at the early days of the church. There was no church. The church were like stopping points.
Mm-hmm.
The disciples and those who were going out and spreading the message were the most valuable. And even still with music, it is still the most valuable thing today. And that's the vessel that makes people digest these things easier. So I take that very seriously. You know, I do.
Adwela, that's what I try to tell you all the time, man. Since you started off in music, man, I should tell you, I said, look, if you can't get people around you to feel what you're feeling, man, you got to go somewhere where they will appreciate it. And see, like I just finished telling you, man, the music is this is the stuff that our ancestors bred into us. You know what I'm saying? So it's powerful, man.
It does.
It's powerful. So it's important that we nurture this thing. And the people that's coming, a lot of times, unfortunately, there's a lot of fans who don't really understand why that they're amazed and they're spiritually moved by what you're doing. But you understand it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you understand it. We're delivering it. So right. I get it.
I've got an iconic photo of me, and this pretty much sums up my struggle in this whole thing. I just started to get some traction like about 2-3 years ago when I was just starting to play big stage shows and I was headlining them. I sold out a 500-seater to capacity, and right in the front row, right by the speaker, there's this lady looking at me like I'm the best thing known to God, and she got a Confederate flag jacket on.
Oh, man.
Like, woman, I'm singing about you. And she had just had no idea, but she felt the vibration of what I was bringing. And hopefully I'm like, you know what? There's a lot of people, you should got her out of there. You should kick her out. You're like, you know what? No. Because maybe she don't know.
That ain't how it works.
She needed more than everybody else. She front and center.
She's not disrespectful.
But that's what I'm fighting up against. You know what I mean? That's what people don't understand. That's what I'm fighting up against. There's the people who really believe this type of lifestyle, but like what I'm doing and don't know why they like what I'm doing just because of the vibration I'm giving them and digesting it somehow, but they just don't have the education of what it really is.
But that's why you're a teacher, man. You know, you gotta continue to teach. You know, you see me, man. You see how I move, man. And I'm a DJ, but I'm a scholar.
Always.
I'm a soldier. I'm a community activist. I'm a person. I'm a father. So I like to believe, even though I have faults like everybody,
Right.
but I think I'm a role model.
Right.
And that role model takes a bunch of different shapes. It's just like if a kid is playing for like Culpeper football, or Eastern View football, and they approach you and they want to learn technique. What you gonna tell them? Get out of my face, kid.
You got, kid. What do you mean? That's just me, though. You know,
right.
And some people will be like that, but I'll never in my life.
Nah, because you know what it takes.
I was one of those kids who was asking the old heads.
Right.
I was one of those kids looking up to cats like Dovey and them playing some of my promo stuff back in the day. You know what I mean? Looking up the bull before he passed, and actually got to be his teammate before he went. It was pretty cool to come up with those cats and grow because of the example people set for you.
Yeah, because they didn't get there just because they just came out the womb.
Somebody always mentors somebody, man.
Somebody showed them the way, man.
People say, I don't need nobody. I don't need no help. You're the biggest fool in the
lie.
world. You're a lie.
That's
a lie.
You know? So what you working on now, man? Anything? I mean, what's the plan here?
I'm working on a bunch of music, actually. I'm working on a couple different projects. Working on some screenplays, actually. I'm getting into some acting.
See, we're going to talk after this.
Yeah, man. I'm getting into some of that as well. I'm getting ready to make some moves. I'm kind of going to show rather than tell about, you know what I'm saying? But some big moves. I'm gonna move and shake a little bit. Switch some things up in the game. Yeah. Some life things have been better with me. Some life things have not been so good for me.
Great.
Brother, I've been fighting on the active standpoint, and because of that, was fighting some legal stuff, unfortunately, in the past 5 months.
Really? Okay.
My guy had 25 years over my head.
Get out of here. I didn't hear about
3 felony charges.
Really?
Violent felony charges.
Oh, man.
At that.
Well, we don't have to broadcast this piece.
I can. Dismissed.
Okay, well let's talk about it then.
Can't hold me, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, dismissed.
Yeah. Especially if you ain't doing
Anyone who knows me knows I don't carry myself in that type of manner. I couldn't wait to get behind the camera and someone asked me, bro, dismissed. Thrown completely out. Not guilty.
This locally?
Dismissed. In my hometown.
Really?
In my hometown. And it happens, listen to this. Look at the timeline of events. It happens right after June. I'm one of the main people at the big march down there.
Right.
Documented in the paper and everything too.
Mm-hmm.
The sheriff made his comments about BLM and everything else and condemned that, this and that.
Yeah.
When we had a town hall discussion with him,
mm-hmm.
I was one of the main person who dressed him down appropriately.
Right.
So they don't really have the best, you know what I'm saying, I guess, idea of who I am or like me for that matter. I don't really care, but that's what I was speaking on.
And you look like a quote-unquote foreigner.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. But can be more from there than they, you know what I'm saying, don't even know. Like, I'm from there. So long story short, I'm not going to get into details or whatever, but people like to go out and tell stories to the police. And they came and got me, and I spent a good 6 days in jail for nothing.
Yeah.
Got out. Dismissed.
See, but there's people like you who...
completely free.
Who make things, who give hope to folks. Because, like, there's people out here that go out here and they get hemmed up for whatever reason. Even if they didn't do it, they get hemmed up.
Right.
They start going in there telling all kinds of stuff, making up stuff.
Right.
You know, or whatever. And then you really, all you're doing is really just digging a deeper hole for yourself. If you stand on integrity, stand on that. You know, easy for me to say I've never done any time, I never have faced any time or anything like that. But sometimes these young guys get hemmed up in the system, man. Next thing you know, they telling them we're gonna put you in jail forever.
Right.
Well, the cop can't really get the charge off you either.
You've got to understand. That's the other thing. Just understand.
They don't understand the system in a lot of cases.
What you can't do in your rights. My thing is, I don't even have a speeding ticket, man.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been in any trouble in my life. Never.
Right.
Never been in any type of trouble. I've been arrested 12 times.
Yeah, man.
And I've never had nothing stick.
Well, because you're probably not a criminal.
Because I'm not a criminal.
Right.
But I know how to fight it as well, and I fight it appropriately. And
being a criminal doesn't mean, being locked up doesn't mean you're a criminal.
Of course.
Because people,
things happen. Locked up all the time. Right, things do happen.
Yeah.
You understand this too. With me being a public figure, me being a person with a platform, you ever notice none of this stuff's ever hit the paper before?
Right. Yeah, because I know.
Now, if they could get me, there would be a time as
outspoken
as I am.
Yeah.
If they had a reason to nail me to the wall, they certainly would. Why? Because there's no merit behind it.
Right.
It's been multiple times. It's never touched the paper. I've had cats in the paper really reach out to me and say, this is so ridiculous. We're not even putting it out there. 12 times. Well, walking free. So what's that mean? Obviously, I'm doing something right now, trying to take some. That's the same thing we talk about in the genre and reggae, how it goes down with small localities and governments in Jamaica and places like that don't have the freedom that the rest of the country exercises. Doesn't think the same way they try to put out flames that are doing those things. And I'm not a victim. I'm not playing a victim at all.
Mm-hmm.
This is the apple I bit, and this is the path I chose, and things come with it. Yeah. And I understand that. Just understand when you try to grow and start bringing things to light that take control away from people who are used to control, or change the central ideology of how things work and how people think,
yeah,
it's gonna be some backlash. They're gonna try to do what they can do to you, but
it's been like this for
years,
centuries.
right? So like, it's not me. I'm sitting there like, you know what? Who am I to feel away?
Mm-hmm.
And I wrote this. I wrote it in a song. Like before I even start my very first song. So, traitor sons of the serpent, Lucifer tempted perfect. So why do we think the same tribulations we're not deserving? You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking like, bro, I was sitting there. I had a lot of times to sit there by myself. I'm like, bro, you're talking about situations that you see, but now the situation is your own.
Mm-hmm.
Now your own music's hitting home.
Yeah.
They're trying you. You have to go through certain things. That was my tribulation.
Yeah.
I beat it. I'm on the other side of it now. I'm like, bro, like I'm on fire right now.
And you're not a punk either. So
all.
So you're gonna say what's on your mind.
If you're random and impulsive, it will deal you. I tell people all the time, especially younger people, look, bro, do not react out of emotion. It's normally the wrong thing to do, and it will cost you in the long run. Be calculated with what you do.
That's right.
And in retrospect, honestly, and it's gonna sound rude, I'm gonna very rarely apologize because if I'm calculated, I did that shit. I meant it. I did it.
Yeah.
And I'm not sorry because I did it. I thought it over. I weighed my options. I did it.
Yeah.
Consciously.
I mean, it's people out here just doing stuff.
I'll be the first one going to hell, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know better. You know what I'm saying? Like,
there's people out here with malice doing the things they do. And so, you know, we don't have to go out here and make up stuff to get through life. We don't have to go out here and kind of like make up strife.
Right.
There's enough stuff going on.
Enough real struggle out there. You don't have to manufacture your own.
That's right.
To try to make it seem a certain way. It's enough struggle. But I don't know, man. I think the energy's better spent trying to find a way around it, even though it's not fair.
Mm-hmm.
Us as minorities are taught, and it's a thing. Hey, you're gonna have to do twice as much as some other people to get the same things. If you speak on it, they're gonna say you're crying. I'm not crying. And the thing is, you're an army guy. Soldiers' right to complain is a thing, right?
Yeah, they say when the soldiers,
you still gotta go.
They say when soldiers stop complaining, something's wrong.
Right,
with
it's like wrong. You have to complain. You still gonna go do it.
Soldiers been
but I'm working on one side and saying there's some bullshit on the other. You know what I'm saying? It is.
Soldiers been complaining for hundreds of years, man. But the bottom line is, we're dedicated to a path,
right, and a cause and a goal.
That's right. And if you're doing the right thing, even when nobody's looking, when it blows up, or if it blows up, or if it doesn't go the way you expect it, the organization usually backs you. You know,
they do.
That's just how it goes.
It's a character and integrity thing, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You got to have and if you're a leader, and a lot of times what I talk about on my platform is leadership and decision making and all that, setting the example. And if you carry yourself that way, and as long as you know you're not out here just screwing with people and all of that type of thing, then it's all water under the bridge, man.
It is.
Just drive on, do the right thing, and live your life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so. I guess you kind of already alluded to it, but so what's 2021 and 2022 looks like for Adwela and or the Uprising?
It's going to be all of those things, you know, whichever they're looking for. Now there's different facets.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, this past year in the pandemic, it's made me, you know, honestly, with you as a previous and a model, honestly, looking at, okay, how can I grow my brand?
Right.
How can I grow my company?
Mm-hmm.
This is an established thing to where brand is recognizable.
That's right.
What's recognizable? You see the Hit the Deck logo, you know these people are going to be around. And about the names, I need to introduce myself less to people. But we're looking at it on a broader scale where the places I've been. How do I do brand recognition? And I can't go out and tour. What can I do? I really worked on the brand, expanding that. Studio sessions, really starting to produce now.
Okay, good.
Picked up a couple of instruments, starting to learn them.
You actually know how to sing. You know how to play some music, and you know song structure, and you already know what the road looks like. So you got a head start. Right. So at least you've been putting that work in. You know how to kind of direct how a project is going to go.
I hate to say more of the same. I just want to do things with more of a purpose now, because I know what can and can't happen, and the variables have been explored, and we understand what there is now. The goals are being more streamlined because once you start accomplishing more things, I got nominated for 2 more music awards as well this past year,
congrats.
2 Grammys or whatever. So I didn't even know I was up for them, so it was cool. It was humbling for a change. I was like, you know what? Yeah, that's kind of cool because I put no effort towards that, and someone still looked at the works, and even with us being hampered and not be able to go anywhere, I was kind of disappointed about the last project because the tour on this one, I was very enamored personally with this one just because of how it was different and how it changed. It was a whole new facet of me as an artist and stuff as well. I think the next project I'm coming out with, I'm not going to have any constraints as far as genre goes. I'm going to do some things in different languages. I'm going to do some things in different genres. I'm gonna sing. I'm gonna rap. I'm gonna do dancehall. I'm gonna do a couple different things on this
Mm-hmm.
one. I'm gonna have some instrumental things. I'm gonna play more instruments in the studio on this album as well. I'm gonna take my time and it just really there's no time limit on this one. Honestly, I've got 2 albums in. They've both done well in their own respects. Like I said, I'm gonna branch off, start getting into some more screenplay stuff, some acting, um, some radio stuff, whatever I can get my hands in. Honestly, in entertainment, I'm gonna try to do some more of. Try to travel a little bit more. Of course, get the brand, expanded some more.
Mm-hmm.
Like always, we're just gonna grow, man. I'm excited, and like I said, I'm rejuvenated from having this time off and then going through, the doldrums of like the darkest parts of this and coming out on the other side. Man, I'm hungry, bro. I'm
Well,
hungry.
my buddies the other day, they came and I interviewed them, and they're businessmen and
Mm,
investors and artists, graphic artists, and they tell me their comments were, even though it was a quote unquote downtime, they used the time to refit and reformat and uh, restructure how they going out, how they gonna be doing business. So when the pandemic is subsides,
hmm
they'll have a head start, and they'll have
Right.
a good sense of where they want to go with their enterprises. So again, it's not always the end of the world. It's like buying stocks. When the market is low, you buy more.
Right.
You
Might as
putting the
well
work
yourself.
in because
Right.
it's going to rebound. It's going to rebound.
Everybody always does.
It's, until it's Earth,
Right.
until they turn the lights out on this
Right.
thing. You got opportunity.
Everything
Man.
cycles.
That's right.
That's the other thing. I'm trying to grow some other business ventures as well. I can't really say them right now before they're going out there, but in the cannabis community as well, I've been planting seeds with that.
Mm-hmm.
And Virginia coming along faster than what I thought they would. Come
Yeah.
2024, it's gonna be nice, brother.
There you
Trust
go.
me.
There you go.
Like really just putting some different seeds in different areas and just having the time to equally nurture them all and give them attention as they need
Yeah.
going forward.
Yeah.
So it's an exciting time for me anyway. I'm personally excited and rejuvenated and just welcoming this time to get back to work and start like really hustling about something.
Well, I'm glad we had time to get to reconnect and talk about all this, man, because it's inspiring to know that, again, even though we've been in a pandemic under pandemic circumstances, people are still out here and motivated to reach a goal.
Mm.
And like I said, you sing about positivity and overcoming struggles and strife and so forth, man. And that's something we need. We need more of that. It's more and less of us talking about stuff that's negative in nature. I don't really got time for it. I don't want that energy around
It's
me.
fruitless, man, at this point. And
Yeah,
I have such a bad time with it because these young cats are so talented.
yeah.
They really are.
Yeah.
They are talented.
They can sing, they can rap,
and
they can
and
do
the
all
thing
that
is,
stuff.
they know new business, so they're making money. I can't knock anybody for making money. You're making money, but at what expense?
That's right.
At some point, you're gonna look at what you've done and the destruction you created, and how you're gonna sleep at night. Then,
Yeah. Yep. It's I don't know, man, but a lot of people are just products of their environment in a lot of cases,
Right.
man. And even though that's true, it's not always an excuse, though.
Right.
It's gotta at some point. It can't be the excuse.
Well, I was
forever.
going so hard on this before, man, and it just wasn't well received, especially by these youth, man. So I tried to be more empathetic.
Yeah.
Going forward and try to see where they're coming from. And I'm like, okay, I'm trying to find the silver lining to this cloud and not be so hard on everybody all the time
Mhm.
for what I see based on what I believe and how I was growing up in this
Mhm.
world. And just try to have more understanding for people going forward because they're not going to be they
ain't
haven't been
gonna-
receptive.
They ain't gonna be you.
And they're
man.
not going to be.
They're not.
And I'm not trying to make nobody mean that.
Yeah.
I'm just getting older, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm maturing a bit and I'm excited for it. I'm finally starting to, a lot of lights are coming on lately and I'm seeing stuff different, man.
Hey, man, I'm happy for you,
And
brother.
I'm not vexing so much about things. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I'm coming into the OG status and liking it, bro. For real, it's cool.
It's
It's
yeah,
cool,
man.
man.
It's less heat around.
Way
you
less
when
stress when you start figuring out where your
Yeah,
places in the world and like, yo, here's my lane and you good. Yeah.
I don't have any time to be beefing with
Man,
anybody.
nobody. I'm good.
If you're not about my advancement, and I don't mean if I don't mean that literally. Like, I don't need people around me. You don't have to have like a bunch of money.
Right, you
hang
ain't got
out
to
with
give
me,
it to me, but you
know what
can't
I'm
hinder
saying?
me.
But I don't need you around me if all you got is negativity.
Right,
I don't even need that energy around me.
right.
Get away from me.
That's a bigger hindrance than someone trying to take something from you.
It's like watching the news, man.
Yeah.
If you watch most news, it is not there to inform you. It's not there to
Right.
make you feel better. Most of it is just there to evoke some sort of crisis.
Ratings are everything, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Ratings
And
are everything.
that sells.
Ready to sell.
But I don't have time for that energy, man. But anyway, man, we'll be talking all night, as I always say. But yeah, man, is there anything else you want to tell the people?
Man, just keep on keeping on, guys. We're in unprecedented times, man, for real. And I'm just happy to see that people are still here. Maybe some light at the end of the tunnel. Maybe music comes back. I'm very excited. I have a theory that when music comes back, the people will stop being so flaky as they were before. We'll be so happy to get out amongst each other.
Yeah.
I just want to hug somebody, dog. You know what I mean? It sucks, bro. It's like, bro, I ain't hugged my grandma in over a year, man. And I got family members who have, like, have issues and feel their way about the pandemic. I ain't hugged immediate family members in over a year, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm ready to get back to real life, man. I'm just happy for it. And thankful I'm still here, man.
That's
right.
That's right. Well, I'm happy you could come through, brother. I really miss talking to you, man. I appreciate you, and one love.
Of course, man.
All right.
I came here not polished. I do what we want to do. As we do what we want to do, we want to do it. That's why it's a freestyle. What you want for free? What 50 said, right? Check it. Yo, so don't provoke the roster up. So the earth will tremble. Let all the earth keep silent. Y'all is in its holy temple. Behold the blessed sacrament until you can't refuse it. What y'all give I from birth, right? How dare you try to refuse it? Good Lord sent from Zion blessings in return for reverence. Y'all live it in I and I righteousness of a prison. Good Lord sent from Zion blessings in return for reverence. But y'all live it in I and I. And I say let the lions live. And yes, we must be free. And let the lions live. Don't you come and rescue me. Let the lions live. I need my peace. If you don't let us live, cock back, bring my teeth, yo, check it. Blessed is the man who travel road up on his own. Better burden of the work when most would rather stay at home. Go live outside the comfort zone, so spread your wings and try. If you don't break out your cocoon, the monarch never gets to fly. In a place where minds are small and matches the ambition. Taking pointers, pick his gun as soon as we depart on a mission. Then scrapes, window panes, broken lights and parts. Fly windows, make it back before tomorrow show a star. Now big up my chest, but most and I will tell you the story. What you mistake for arrogance is just my testimony. Race is not so much for those who swift but who endure. Not that the attitude and funky like Manor. Say enough obstacles we navigate and go around. Still menacing our feet and play the course on solid ground. Cuts and bruises here, they just remind us of the battle. We caught in herds like the sheep and the cattle. Let us live. We must be free and let the lions live. Don't rescue me and let time man live. If you don't let time man live, check it, watch your dread. Yo, when me say general, original, I one of a kind, never be disturbed when I'm on my grind. Check the sign, bring out the message from the Most High who guide. A capitan, never been used to the sidelines. Follow using guidelines that we set. Oh, with the consequences, you'll be upset. So come correct. If you enter into covenant with Jah, make we carry heavy vibes, living life with the accordance to the law. I'm homegrown with the vibes, still we carry it abroad. From the strait to the barren to the rock of Gibraltar. Stand strong, but we never falter. Only time we bend knees the altar to praise Jah the Father. Entering his gates, singing praise to his name. See the look up on the face of the pig and await some. Read the scripture, bear witness to what the scripture says. You know what this is, and I must say what Christ feed the multitude with only one loaf of bread. Christ feed the multitude with only Christ feed the multitude with only one loaf of bread. Christ feed the multitude, check it. Say Christ feed the multitude with only one loaf of bread. There's something for you. Never let the pressures of the system get up on your head. Poor people, there is something for you. Mankind care not anymore. So there is something for you. Written in the book of life, say we shall live forevermore. And there is something, watch it now, say, more thing. Watch out, we say, Jah gave Moses 10 commandments up on two top of the stone. Israel out the Egypt and the picnic them alone. Samson slew the Philistine with the donkey jawbone. David slew Goliath with 3 very smooth stone. Take us out the prison and the dungeon and the doom. Swimming at the sea but diving in the blue lagoon. Lies what you tell me, what you think I'm on before. What the truth will be revealed so very soon and very. Christ feed the multitude with only one loaf of bread. A multitude with only one loaf of bread. Christ feed the multitude with only one loaf of bread. Watch your dread. Yeah. Blessed love, man. Y'all want more? Y'all want more? Y'all want more? All right, see. Yo. You gonna wrap up if you want to? I can do more if you want. No problem. All right. Run it back. Yo. All right, so we go to old school Rap City basement style with this one. You know what I mean? Easy vibes. Watch out now. What me say? Long time me dip on a rhythm. Still me well sharp like a knife in the kitchen. Say, growing out the country and the peppers like a prison. Now your mind try to feed my people, but them never listen. Rasta man, see how we interpret the scripture. Never bow again to white Jesus in our picture. Batman, I feel dead positivity we lift up. Music carry message, that's why they pay me the big bucks. Watch them cock and looking, we a rip it. Kinda overstand me, but them fully never feel it. Science delivered and the rights copywritten. Still got me general, best out of Virginia. See me? And I'm back up in the building. Vacate all the women and the children. Cause I'ma start spitting all these flames. You best remember my name, check it. See me when I step in the booth. You know I do it, yes, I'm on the truth. I do this from the bottom to the roof. One shot, one kill when we shoot, but we do it for protection, not on the offense side. Do this on one side and not over the fence. Off the top of my dome, yes, I spit it. And all of to these rhymes, I'm committed, yeah. I can switch the style back and forth, no problem, you know. Depends where I come from, but you know, J.A.'s influence, check it, yo. Alright, straight out listening, yo. When they say man I look at breakfast, he say get the youth them a set up shopper. Hey do this illa and me there and me here without a question. Jumping at the street like a pedestrian. If you love yourself, my suggestion. Who know face set up shop? Notice when you see me in a crew, we so massive and full up. I get the youth and every man a fear big cash. Only stay fast, come give it your best shot. Yesterday man come set up shop, people come set up, and people set up shop, come in and set up. But people set up shop, come in and set up, and you see the gang steer to them people. How you feel, daddy? Yes. I'm a good, you know, man.